Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, third-year man Jared Goff and the defending NFC West champion Los Angeles Rams as they take on Sam Bradford, playing for his fourth NFL team, the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. The former #1 overall pick leads them out there. Jared Goff in his third season now as the quarterback of the Rams.
It always comes down to the talent of a player first, but never underestimate what good coaching can do for you as well. How about Jared Goff, 0-7 as a rookie to 11-4 in an NFC West title in his second season? The arrival of Sean McVay and his staff, they really jumped up his game. 28 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions in 2017.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's Goff now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And here is the Cardinal defense.
In a league where the vast majority of guys play hard on every snap, Marcus Golden stands out for me because I've seen this guy play with so much passion and came out of college as a defensive end. They talked about making him an outside linebacker, but they figured out his strength, putting his hand on the ground, rushing the passer with a lot of force and a lot of will.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Goff. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
The Rams were the highest scoring team in the league last year, and they're on the move early with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. DJ Foster set to return it. And he will be marked out right there at the 20-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. It's Sam Bradford who will be controlling things under center in his 9th year now out of Oklahoma.
And getting another fresh start, this time in Arizona. But it'd be interesting to see how people in the building, how people in the organization view this season for Sam Bradford. Is he a bridge to Josh Rosen, who they drafted in the first round? Or will he become their legitimate starting quarterback as they try and challenge for a playoff spot? When he's on his game, there's nobody more accurate in the league throwing the football.
Bradford going to lead the Cardinals up now 1st and 10. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A couple of vets fighting each other there for a Cardinal first down. Bradford to Fitzgerald. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On third down, Bradford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Well, we got a second here, Charles. Let's look back to some of those crazy finishes in Week 7 of the NFL last week. I mean, it seemed like every game had a wild finish.
It certainly did. Dallas, Washington, Brett Maher off the upright from 52 yards following a questionable penalty against his long snapper that moved the ball back 5 yards. How about Cleveland, Tampa Bay? Cleveland claws his way back in, and then Tampa Bay wins the ball game with Chandler Catanzaro kicking the big field goal from 59 yards in overtime. Remember, he missed a 40-yarder in regulation. Justin Tucker missed an extra point. That's the headlines in and of itself. His first miss in the NFL. And New Orleans gets away with a victory. And New England, Chicago. Chicago throws the Hail Mary at the end of the game. Kevin White, 54 yards. He needed 55.
Yeah.
Stopped at the 1 yard.
I don't think I've ever seen a Hail Mary come that close but not get in. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Jones had 4 years in New England, now in his 3rd with the Cardinals.
And he's really gotten acclimated in the desert, hasn't he? 11 sacks in his first season with the team in 2016. 17 last year, which led the NFL. And how about his last 5 years? 58 sacks, the most in the NFL.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. The Pro Bowler Patrick Peterson back deep for Arizona. This is taken at the 18. Shrugs him off. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10.
Earlier, Charles, we talked about the Cardinals' 1-6 start and that 45-10 loss to Denver in a nationally televised broadcast last week, Week 7. So where do they go from here? Because obviously things are not working.
You're exactly right. And look, we knew they would likely take some lumps this year. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback eventually getting the job. But I'm not sure we saw the fall being this steep. There's still elements of that team that was perennially a playoff team under their previous coaching staff. So I didn't know they would fall off the cliff this fast. They've just got to find a way to get their running back David Johnson fully integrated into the offense, because he can make some big-time plays and open things up for other people.
Yeah, coming into the year, Johnson said he wanted 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving yards, and he's not near those totals right now. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Play action now. Bradford. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. A first down throw for Bradford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Bryce Butler, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Bradford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. After the interception, here's Goff. Dumps it off to Gurley. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Goff. Right side complete, that's Woods. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Zerline's kick is good. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Bradford going to lead the Cardinals up now 1st and 10. And they start the second half with Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a second down throw for Bradford. Gets it to Bryce Butler, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Third and short yardage. Bradford. And he's got Fitzgerald. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Second down, Bradford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rameek Wilson able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Another carry now for Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Bradford. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Bradford to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Bradford. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Bradford. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Nelson. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll throw again. Bradford. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abukum in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. Throwing now, Goff. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Goff. Fighting through pressure. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long and sign off from the desert.